It is no secret that your eyes love contrast in photographs. And generally speaking, the more contrast in your photograph, the more interesting it is. Tonal contrast, light and shadow, texture contrast, directional contrast, and the subject of this video, color contrast. Without any color contrast, a photo can look flat, dull, monotone, and uninteresting. However, when done right, color contrast can create depth, separation, add layers, and visual interest to your photographs, leading the viewer's eyes to look at and linger longer throughout the photo. Brands like FedEx and IKEA know this, and believe it or not, the reason The Simpsons are that iconic yellow is because Matt Groening was an artist who understood color contrast. So in this video, I'm going to be covering how you can utilize Lightroom and Photoshop to bring out and separate the colors in your photographs. This is everything you need to know about color contrast. Now, before we get into the editing, I want to talk about the why, because fundamentally, color contrast comes from contrasting or complementary colors sitting on the opposite sides of the color wheel. And the more time you spend out in nature, the more you'll come across naturally existing complementary colors. Like in this Aurora photo, which balances the lime green and magenta, or the reds and greens of this shot from the Eastern Sierras, or even the unlikely orange and teal from a sunrise at this glacier. If you go to color.adobe.com, you can play with a digital color wheel for editing inspiration. Or even better, if you just go to your local art supply store, you can pick up a physical color wheel for about $10, I think this cost. And this really helps to visualize what the color contrasts are in an image. So for instance, oftentimes when I'm editing a photo, I like to hold this up to kind of see or kind of calibrate where I'm at visually. And using this really helps the editing process, especially if I'm going to be printing something. And so with that, let's go ahead and get into the editing process. So here we are in Lightroom, and as you can see, we have a nice photograph from the coast. But for me, this image is overwhelmingly blue. Now, this isn't to say that it has the wrong white balance, because I don't think there is a correct or incorrect white balance to use for a photograph. There's only going to be a neutral white balance, which in this case, I think this is a neutral white balance of what the photograph was in that morning or what the scene was like that morning. However, for my eyes, it is just too blue. It's just overwhelmingly cool. There's a little bit of warmth over here, right where the sun was coming up for the sunrise. But if you look at just about everything, it's very cool. So we can go ahead and go over to our basics panel and try to warm this image up. I want to see all of that nice warmth that was there in my eyes in the sky at the time. And let's go ahead and just add some warmth to this image. We can go pretty heavy on that. And I could say also, maybe this isn't quite enough. And if I want to add more, I can go over to our color grading and add in some color grading, or maybe some more warmth or more orange into the sky here. And I can say, hey, I really like this. I think this looks pretty good so far. I really like how it looks in the sky. It's really transformed this image. However, it's now overwhelmingly warm. I think there's just no color contrast. We went from too cool to now it's too warm. So now we need to start building that contrast back into this. And I'm going to start off with the sky up here, because down here, I think this part of the sky looks great. But up here, I don't think we need all of that warmth in the sky. So I can go over to our masking panel. You can see I've already had some masking or already done some edits to this photo, but these are all tonal adjustments. So let's go over to create a new mask, and we're going to do a linear gradient to cool down or bring back some cool tones into the top of the sky. So let's click and just drag down, doesn't really matter where, something like that. And then of course we don't want to affect the entire top of the image. So I'm going to click on these three dots and say intersect mask with select sky. So we are not selecting any of this over here. It's going to take a second to think, and there we go. And from here, I can take this color temperature slider and slide it to the left to cool that down, to cool it back down. So now we have this nice contrast of warm to cool. We can just see before and after, before and after. And I can do the exact same thing to the bottom of the image down here, because I think this is also too warm. So I can create a new mask with a linear gradient. And let's select somewhere up here, maybe just below these reflections. I can move this down. I can feather that out a little bit more. And I can take this color temperature slider and again, cool this down quite a bit. Something like that. And we can see the before and the after. So we have this nice almost cool to warm to cool again. So we're adding in these layers, we're adding in this contrast, especially when you have these things, especially in the sky here. When I do this, I have not changed the saturation or anything else of this image, but by adding in this cool tone into the top of this image or adding the blues back in there, it makes this more yellow. It makes the warms more warm. If you can't add saturation to an image, just cool everything else around it. If we can't add in more saturation to the warmth, we can cool all of everything else around it. But we're not done yet with this image. I can see down here in the bottom, we already have some nice reflections on all of these rocks. And I think this would be a nice way to balance out the bottom of this image even more. So we have the nice cool tones in the rocks, but we can add in or accentuate the warmth in all of these reflections down here. And so again, I can do this with our masking panel. We're going to create a new mask. You're going to use a brush. I'm going to increase the color temperature. We can take our flow down just a little bit or so. And I'm going to use my little drawing tablet here to zoom in and brush in on all of these little rocks. Now I'm going to speed through this process because it does take a little while, but notice that I have not done any tonal changes. And as you can see here now with the before and the after, let's go ahead and look at this. Before and after, you can see how we're accentuating the color that's already there, that's already existing in the photograph, that's existing on these rocks. We can see how we now have this really nice color contrast of cool to warm, to cool, to warm, back to cool again. So we're adding in all of these different layers. We're adding in all of this contrast, not tonally. We haven't touched any tones in this image. We've only touched the colors, and we can see how we've brought out so much more in this image. Now take a look at these side by side to see the power of working with color contrast. Now another trick I like to use to add color contrast into my photographs is by utilizing luminosity masks to target either the highlights or the shadows. Like in this image here of these sand dunes, which I think is just overwhelmingly orange, or it's overwhelmingly warm for this photograph. So I can go over to our develop module. I'm going to go over to our masking and create a new mask using a luminance range. And I'm just going to target the shadows over here. That looks like it was a bit too much, so I can slide this over to target just the luminance values that I want to. And then very easily, I can just take that temperature slider and slide that left. And doesn't have to go a whole lot. I can add even in a little bit of magenta there. And then we can see before and after, we can see how much color contrast that added into the photo just by using a super simple selection. And we can do the exact same thing in this image, except instead of targeting the shadows, we can target the highlights to add in warmth to this otherwise really cool image. So again, just open up our masking panel, use a range and select on luminance. And I can just select just the highlights over here. I want to feather this all the way out. And I can even select a little bit more there. And then use our color temperature to add a bunch of warmth into this section. So again, we have this nice transition of cool to warm, back to cool again. And we can see before, after, before, after. So you can see just a super simple way to add that color contrast, add that visual interest into the photo. Now, sometimes you might be in a situation where you have a bunch of different dominant colors in the image competing to be the primary or secondary color in your photograph, and you're not sure which ones to utilize for the contrasting colors. So in this case, you'd want to use the HSL sliders. Now here is a great example of this with a photograph from the cypress swamps down in Louisiana, where you have the dominant color of blue, but the secondary color or the complementary colors are kind of competing between the orange of these leaves and also the green of these leaves. Now, if I look at my color wheel, I can see that the opposite of this blue is orange, So I want to remove the green from these leaves. I don't want to remove it entirely, but I can do that really, really easily by going over to my color mixer here. We're going to click on saturation and then just click on this little dot right here, this little tool right here. I can click on that and then go over to an area with a nice amount of green. I'm going to click and just start dragging down to desaturate all of those greens from the image. Now you don't want to go overboard with this, but a nice subtle amount is recommended. And then we can click and see before and after, before and after. So we can remove that distracting amount of green in the image and focus our eyes just on those contrasting colors. Now, something to keep in mind is that there is no order that you need to do any of this in. I find myself very frequently throughout the editing process switching between the HSL, the color grading, the masking, the white balance, the color temperature. I go through this all the time just throughout the editing process, getting those colors just right, or dialing in those colors to look exactly how I want it to maximize that color contrast. But something you do need to pay attention to is something called vision fatigue, because I can guarantee you, the longer you're staring at the screen, the longer you are editing the photo, the less of a baseline your eyes have for what looks normal. You're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna be editing these colors and you're gonna be making all these adjustments. And after a while, your eyes are going to become super fatigued to what looks normal, to what looks good. So what I recommend is taking a break every 30 minutes or so, just getting up, walking around, having a cup of water, having a drink, go take a walk outside, something to reset your vision so that you can come back to your image. Because I can guarantee you, if you're sitting here and you're sitting at the computer for hours on end, editing and editing and editing, especially in a dark room, your eyes are not going to have a baseline for normal. You're going to come back to those photos the next day after posting them or after sending them off to a print, and you're going to be thinking, what the hell was I thinking? So keep in mind vision fatigue. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that not all photos are going to look good with color contrast. Another trick I like to use is to create virtual copies of the photos I'm editing. That way I can make multiple edits and try different color combinations and different looks, and then decide on which one looks best. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is color contrast. Hopefully you were able to learn something new in this video. And if you'd like to join me in person, head over to my website, warnerwildernessphotography.com. I've got workshops all over the Southwest, up in Alaska and beyond. Again, a huge thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.